I feel like Kyle Kulinski is the best memer on the left. And I'm going to show you some examples why I think this is the case. But first, you might be thinking, why is that important? Like, why does that matter at all? Well, unfortunately, in the year 2025, the main vessel for influencing the public consciousness on any given issue is social media. And as we learned from the last presidential election, vibes are extremely important. Whoever wins the vibes war has the upper hand in elections going forward. Donald Trump, during his last campaign, intentionally went on the Manosphere podcasts, like the Joe Rogans, the Theo Vons. He did the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz, and many more. So he won the vibes war with male voters, especially with young men. And the Republican Party, as a whole, was really united in their messaging during the campaign. Of course, I don't agree with their messaging. Their whole narrative was to blame the trans people, to blame immigrants, blame the Democrats for all of your problems, right? Just blame, blame, blame. And they hammered down on that narrative and they prevailed. Enough low information voters, which unfortunately makes up a big chunk of the electorate, chose vibes over policy. Having an influential social media presence is vital because when a post goes viral, it can have a profound impact on the public consciousness on politics. Kyle Kulinski, of course, isn't just a memer, right? He's an established political commentator and has been one of the best in the game for a long time. He has a real knack for posting funny and influential memes on his Twitter account, and I believe this is an underrated trait of his. He has a good sense of posting things that are both funny and contain an important message. And when you combine those two factors, being funny and speaking truth to important topics, that's the perfect recipe for having influence and for winning over the public consciousness on issues. So I'm going to show you just a handful of the memes that he posts. But I will admit, I don't think Kyle creates many of the memes he shares. He likely sees a meme that he likes and then reuses it for his own page. But that doesn't matter. I don't even have to go far down his page until here's one of them. Obviously RFK Jr. with brainworms. And it's not just memes that he posts. It's also political cartoons. Political cartoons for generations have been influential on the public consciousness. See, this one is both funny and truthful. So MAGA, thinking it's hilarious that Joe Biden, there's a sticker of Joe Biden on the back of a MAGA pickup truck, hogtied, and that's funny. But the number's 8647, which means remove 47, the 47th president, Donald Trump. MAGA, when they see that, they freak the hell out. And there's a double standard that is just heinous. So not only does he post funny memes, but he also posts some real hard-hitting ones, like Trump receiving billions of dollars. Trump's been on a little Middle East tour the past week or so. He's been making business deals with foreign nations. Totally unethical the way he's doing it. He's receiving billions of dollars while at the same time Gaza children are receiving hundreds of bombs. That's just a really devastating dichotomy to think about. Trump's immigration program. Of course, this is a classic Family Guy meme where the police pulls over the white guy, and if he has white skin, he's I forgot what the original Family Guy meme said, but if you have white skin, you're good to go. If you have dark skin, you're a criminal. I think this is talking about the Laken Riley Act, of course. Congress passed the Laken Riley Act, which gives ICE and other law enforcement the ability to detain immigrants without a warrant whatsoever. So if they look like they could be illegal, which could be a quarter of the country is Hispanic, anyone who looks like they could be illegal, they can detain for questioning, they can arrest. And that's devastating that so many Congress people voted for that act that really got rid of due process, and it's scary as hell. This one I appreciate very much because I'm a big Marvel fan. China's 5-year plan looks like high-speed rail, looks like potentially some renewable energy, and then America's 5-year plan is Marvel movies. So it's really just saying that America doesn't have any 5-year plans. What dominates pop culture is movies and Marvel and DC and all that stuff, and that's really what's on Americans' minds is, the next Avengers movie that's coming out. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. He's been posting on Twitter, oh my God, for so long that I could do this for days, but I mean, this is a good one. Claudia Sheinbaum, president of Mexico, is giving students free glasses, free healthcare. They're turning in to, what effectively is a social democracy under AMLO's party. She's the successor to AMLO. The average Mexican right now should be hopeful. Things are looking to become much better in Mexico, while at the same time, the president of the United States was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted and, well, he's dead now, but child sex predator, sex trafficker, one of the worst, scandals in American history. Donald Trump was best friends with him for a decade. This is a good example of one that is both funny and hard-hitting. And the common phrase of, having the devil on your shoulder. The devil on Trump's shoulder is saying, holy shit, man, deporting kids with cancer is a new low, even for me. But yeah, it's true. Oh my God, look at the tiny hands. That is so funny. Donald Trump notoriously has really tiny hands for a man his size. Anyway, yeah, Donald Trump, ICE. This administration deported a 2-year-old American citizen who has brain cancer. I made a video about it. Go check it out. And honestly, you can just search it on Google. Mainstream media didn't do a great enough job of covering the story, but there are some outlets out there that did. It's a totally heinous, really an impeachable offense. Deporting an American citizen, just despicable. Let's see if we can find one more. Trigger warning for this next one. It's kind of disturbing. So this is one of those examples where you think it's just brain rot, right? But if you look at the quote bubbles of what these men are actually saying, Zuckerberg, Musk, Bezos, I guess this meme is portraying these billionaire tech giants as bending the knee to Trump and doing whatever their daddy tells them. Of course, Elon Musk bought Twitter and then immediately turned it into a right-wing cesspool. Mark Zuckerberg essentially changed Facebook so they no longer do like the community notes type thing that they used to do. If there was misinformation, there was like a middleman that would, fact check it, and I guess they're stopping that. You guys probably already know this, but Amazon was flirting with the idea of putting right next to the price of the product on Amazon the difference in price due to Trump's tariffs. So I thought that was a great idea. Amazon relies very largely on Chinese products, so I thought that was just a smart move from them. And according to this meme, Bezos folded. But Bezos was obviously at Trump's inauguration, gave lots of money to his campaign, so it just makes sense that he backed down from challenging this administration. So I guess the main point of this video is to just really tell you guys that our culture is cooked. Like, our generation is absolutely cooked, because this is what it takes in the year of our Lord 2025 to get through to the public consciousness, to the public perception on any given political issue, is posting memes that are brain rot, that are funny, but also are informative and hard-hitting. That's what it takes nowadays. And my prediction is that in the next 20 or 30 years, as Gen Z, Gen Alpha take the reins on controlling, our government systems, our, the workforce, this is going to become even more prevalent. Is your presence on social media, how effective of a communicator you are, and really how entertaining you are. That's a big part of this too, is being entertaining, being funny, edgy even. So yeah, I think Kyle toes that line very nicely. There's obviously times when he posts a meme and I look at it and I like shake my head like, dog, what are you doing? That is wild. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been watching Kyle, sometimes he'll say something or he'll do something that just like you turn your head, you're like, what did you just say? Like, that's so out of pocket. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, is that I believe Kyle Kulinski is doing a wonderful job at leveraging his sense of humor and his online presence to influence the public perception on politics. And I think more of us need to be like that. Now we might not need to go as far as he does. Sometimes he posts some out of pocket shit, but at the end of the day, it's working.